Hey everyone, Angelo here, Hollywood filmmaker, supporter of the workers, supporter of the liberation of poor peoples everywhere, tenants, disability rights, a lot of good stuff. Making breakfast here, inspiring my comrades into revolution against the capitalist oppressors. Revolution, comrades, that's what we need. Um, it's funny. I saw a documentary. It's a channel called like Endeavor. Oh, I never said it out loud. I think it's like Endevr. We got a lot of documentaries, and it was about how, you know, we're the like richest country in the world, but we have the most unhappy people, something like that. And it showed profiles of some pretty wealthy people, and then some wealthy people who see a problem with the greed and excess, and then some very poor people. Um, the poor people, I just feel it in me, that tension, that, feeling of being ill at ease, of, knowing what it's like to be broke, and, knowing I could lose everything again. There's no reason I couldn't. And it made me the incredible excess and ego that the stories they were telling, now it's a documentary, who knows who's exaggerating what, but I can believe it based on, people being people, and the rich, some rich people are really decent, some are absolute dirtbags. Um, I think there are murderers in prison who are better people than some rich people who've never even gotten a parking ticket. How can I say that? Obviously, I don't think it's good to murder someone. It's like the worst thing you can do. I'm saying this is something I heard from a public defender. He said the reason, like, he defends his clients to the best of his ability. He said what he learned is not to judge in a way. He said there's some good people who, in a fit of anger or insanity, kill, and there's some terrible people who never get so much as a parking ticket. So it's not really our place to judge, in a way. I'm like, yeah, I can believe that. Again, not endorsing that. And also, parking tickets, funny. It's like, if you're rich, parking ticket's not a punishment. If your punishment is a fine, it's basically only a penalty for poor people. Um, what else was I thinking? Oh yeah, we need to strike. We need a general strike for better conditions in this country, medical care, better streets, um, better access to everything we need. To, like, when I say access, I literally mean, like, cities and suburbs are built so far apart. It's like a lot of people are stuck living further and further away from the services they need because wealthy whites wanted to get away from the cities, and they wanted to get away from black and brown people in the cities, so created redlining rules for uh, neighborhoods and homeowners associations and stuff, and mortgage lending, so that they could segregate but without the baggage of saying, oh, it's a, racial segregationist policy. And as a result, people are spread further and further apart. They're increasingly atomized and isolated and insular in their own bubbles. And I think that contributes to, first of all, ignorant views on poor and people who are dissimilar from them of all types. Black, brown people. Speakers of other languages, etc. And also, it's incredibly depressing, and I just think to how when I lived in Annandale, there were no people out. I lived next to a big road. I gave away my address when I lived in Annandale, so it's not, well, and I no longer live there. It's not like I'm worried about doxing myself there, but I lived next to Backlick Road, big 4-lane road. You could not cross in many places there. So basically, you'd be walking down the street, and then there was Little River Turnpike. You're just walking down the streets that are meant for cars. You're on the side of the road. It's just so lonely and alienating. You don't see people out having fun. Nobody went to Annandale to have fun. You're just seeing tired, stressed out people, worn out, overworked, worked into, their later years. Don't see families out, don't see people having a good time. It was horrible, it was depressing. As I was leaving Virginia, they started building up like the block, like a shopping center where young people would actually go, and all types of people, but would actually go to have fun and hang out. But I was already homeless by then, and I was getting ready to leave Virginia. It's like, okay, it's an improvement. It used to be a Kmart there. I stopped taking the protein shake before I work out. I don't like it. I prefer to fast when I'm working out. Like in the morning, I like that edge, like that empty stomach I have. Anyways, it's so depressing and alienating. And I'm like, I would have been depressed anywhere. It's just that being stuck in a place like Annandale, and then even in Arlington, where not everything, the place I was in was kind of spread out from everything. There are more dense areas in Arlington that I could have never afforded, like being around Courthouse, being around Clarendon, where all the young professionals are. I'm like, not a chance in hell I could afford living there. And if I was smart, I would have gotten rid of, hey, everyone, Red Strike 2020, that's right. The legacy lives on. I am your prodigal son. I have summoned you. So, that's right, the perfect name. Red Strike 2020 lives on into a new year. And see how long humanity's around with the horrifying global catastrophe we have, where like half the world's glaciers are going to melt in a few decades. And we're not cutting our carbon emissions. We're not fundamentally changing how we distribute food, our transportation networks, our energy. We're buying into these scams like electric cars, electric trucks. I looked into why are electric trucks a problem? I saw this video from Adam something. Look him up, he explained it. Basically, the batteries are so incredibly heavy that the trucks will only be able to carry a fraction of what diesel-powered trucks can carry now. So in other words, it's not going to do anything for the environment to have electric trucks, the semi-trailers, for shipping. You're better off with trains, freight trains. But again, having the suburbs and the car culture It ingrains in people the idea that you need cars to get around. Cars are independence. Cars are freedom. I look at them now. It gives me a headache. They're so wasteful. I'm like, that's a sealed off pod that can carry at most maybe 5 people for the most part, made of steel and plastic and rubber and cheap plastics inside the engine or under the hood. And you could build bigger cars, link them all together, reduce the friction on them so that they don't require as much power by putting them on rails and taking off the rubber wheels, put on metal wheels, and guide them along with no traffic. Those are called trains. They're much better. I wish we were built out for that. I didn't appreciate how great having the metro in DC was, although it was horrendously busy and they didn't run the trains enough and run it well, all that. Thanks, Rent Strike. Hey, Darian. It is a nice place. That's another thing I'm learning. I don't need a nice place. I don't need a big place. I want a nice little studio, so I'm not having access. Now, I'm here because I have a lot of roommates, so I could save money being here, but you get the idea. I'm thinking how to be intentional with how I live, save money, and also focus on my writing. That's it. I was doing a lot of writing last night. I know I'm doing a lot of writing when I have nightmares about trying to write and figure out the problems in my stories. And I did last night. I'm like, oh, I'm happy about that. That means Angelo is back after I had COVID and I'm dissociating and stuff. I wasn't doing any writing when I had COVID. That tells me do even more writing, even more, throw on even more, and reading. Our landlords are gouging us, just digging their tendrils into us and squeezing our innards and our guts and our viscera and pulling them away slowly and saying, oh, no, we're not hurting you. We've got to get a return on our investment. Our shareholders, because a lot of landlords are big corporations. They have shareholders that they need to make profits for, and executives. And they'll buy up buildings and say, look at all these people who've been here for decades who aren't paying much in rent. We can't have that. We got to get them out of here and get higher paying tenants in here. It's just sorry. That's the market. It's a zero sum game. Some people are going to be winners. Some are going to be losers. I'm sorry. You're not smarter. We need to end them legally, ethically, and end that by having no more landlords. What an ego trip that name is too. The Lord of the Land. The Landlord. Hey, that's the name for a movie right there. Lord of War, Lord of the Land. I am not endorsing anything illegal. I seriously am not. I'm not endorsing it, hurting anyone. It's not worth it. Don't do it. I will say though, when I've seen cases of tenants who killed their landlords, I'm like, jury nullification. The jury should, if I was in the jury, probably I'd have to say, I'm sorry, I cannot in good conscience convict this person, and I would sleep like a baby. Well, that's probably a good person, probably had a mistake. Okay, don't do it again. We'll give you a warning. You get one. You got it, one freebie. Don't do it again. As long as they apologize, no problem. Click like, everyone. This is a great topic. It's empowering to people. This is good stuff on YouTube. That's right. Rent Strike 2020, one of the best named people on YouTube says, landlord, egotistical title, yes, let me worship you and your property, you scumbag. Like that. You're no lord. We all are. That's right. Remember that movie Rob Roy? Liam Neeson said, "Not all kings have honor, but all men with honor are kings." I would say all people with honor are kings. So I respect the tenant working two jobs to support their family, riding the bus, support public transit, everyone. Try it. Try it. Feel the independence, the liberation of not having this 2-ton vehicle tied to you wherever you go and having to store it somewhere. But someone who may have immigrated to this country, works two jobs. I saw that a lot at the bank I worked at. Man, it was an eye opener. And it wasn't any dramatic thing. It was just gradually learning and appreciating these people that they're working the hardest of anyone, and they shouldn't have to. That's not why you respect someone, but the fact is they are working so hard. They're having to just cash their checks. They don't really get to put anything away to save because they've got to spend all their money on their needs. Their rent, food, their kids, their car. It's ridiculous. It's like, well, why is this equitable? Here's the thing. Rich people need. I was watching a video from this channel, The Financial Diet. Oh my goodness. I think her name is Chelsea Fagan. I'm like, oh great, another financial person. Everybody financial on YouTube is some, right-wing prick, crackpot, who says, horrible stuff, like horrible advice about finance. No, she's very progressive. She talks about poor shaming and the cost of poverty and the benefits of transit and public transportation and how racist our whole, like the whole infrastructure of our society is. And she's great, but she was talking about, what was I just referring to? Damn it, now I can't even remember. But look up The Financial Diet on YouTube just to reinforce these ideas and give yourself that extra boost of like, oh, you're part of a community, you're on the right track. Here's someone who's into finance who actually has sound advice and appreciates and gives voice to the struggles of the poor and stuff and doesn't shame people for it. It doesn't give garbage advice by these crypto bros and all that of invest your money, do this, your hustle should be your passion, and you should work 90 to 100 hours a week and no days off. Yeah, I forget what I was going to say about her, but she's good. Look her up on YouTube. I totally forget what I was going to say. Like, she said something that was really good, now I can't remember. For one thing, she was saying all that hard work, that grinding and stuff, that doesn't make you better off unless you're getting the pay and the living standards that you need to support yourself. I'm like, been there. When you're poor, you're constantly paying to be poor. You can't buy shoes that are as good as high quality shoes because you never have enough money, so your shoes wear out fast. I went through that. I would buy Kmart shoes. Holy crap, those would wear out so fast. can't afford good nutrition, can't afford the time to cook, can't afford good health care. Live in an area without good transit, can't afford to live closer to your job, got to pay for a car, your car breaks down, you lose your job. Can't afford a better car that'll last longer because that costs a lot more. I'm trying to lose weight. I've been messing up on my diet. Robert Taylor, the union makes us strong. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Yes. Oh my goodness, so many people here. This channel is the only hope left. Excuse me, thank you. Yes, Amy, I am doing better. I'm over my COVID, recovered well. So I took it very carefully. It was a whole thing, but it wasn't a horrible case of COVID or anything. It was very uncomfortable and playing tricks on me mentally, but no, I'm good. And checking with the doctors, my physical came out well. Clean bill of health, basically, like cholesterol's great, all that stuff. I'm like, that's the best, because my cholesterol can go high if my diet's not good. It's been high before, but no, doctor said it's really good. But yeah, don't run strike. Look up the financial diet to find another YouTuber. I mean, I'm glad to have you support me, but if you want to be also link our communities together, the financial diet, he's like the only finance channel I've seen that actually gives sound advice and isn't just giving these, Ayn Randian right-wing platitudes about hustle harder, change your mindset, don't rely on the government to help you. The rich love saying that, and then they love going to the government for all the benefits and support they get and to protect their corporations and protect their properties. Ooh, man, it is a different story. Yeah, Elon Musk too, the government's wasteful and inefficient. Look how many billions he's gotten in support and COVID assistance and support he gets from NASA, and also just getting destroying the environment in La Boca Chica with his illegal rockets. A lot of what he does is illegal there. Like he blatantly just lies to the what's the aeronautics regulatory agency, FAA, about like not launching rockets before they're ready, and he'll just go ahead with the procedure anyways. But these bozos, Jeff Bozo and the rest, they're dirtbag. Warren Buffett, all that false modesty. You live in the same house, and he exploits so many people too. It's an exploitative system. So we need to strike so our landlords don't get money, and they go crying and begging, please, I guess you have to make them paid more. What I saw, I remember now what I was going to say. I can't remember if it was the financial diet or not, saying like, yeah, I think she was saying this, that one myth that some rich people, finance people on YouTube say is anybody can be rich. She's like, even if you believe that anybody can be rich, but not everyone will be rich, because you can't have everyone rich under our current system, the capitalist system, because the rich need the poor to be desperate for what meager pay they get. They need them to be poor to do the support work, the service jobs. They're cleaning, they're nannying, they're landscaping, the utilities, which are very expensive out in the suburbs, and they're a net drain. I mean, they're just a huge drain on cities because they're so spread out. You have to pay to spread transmission lines for power and gas lines and sewage and all that stuff further and further away from city centers. Whereas in an apartment like this, we use up less energy than houses out in the suburbs because you have less heating and cooling requirements, less less heat and cold escape from the building through the walls. You have garbage pickup all in one spot. You don't have garbage trucks going to every house. We just have a dumpster that the garbage truck picks up the whole building's trash. We have basically, I guess, like one connection to the utilities, the sewers, and so anyways. But she was saying, yeah, not everyone will be like, not um, everyone can't be rich under a system because the rich need poor people. Let's see. Rito. Mark Ivy coming up the rear. Yep. Mark Ivy's here with his coffee, dropping his knowledge, his wisdom, and yeah, he's got the rocket ship there with a little demon devil mask. Yeah, that's Elon Musk for you. Although I don't like calling anyone demon or devil because that implies like they're not human and that doing horrible things isn't just a normal human thing. Like, oh, he's some different special exception. No, the whole system is exploitative and he happens to be one who's just managed to game it for himself. Seriously, his whole career has been built on lies, manipulation, bullying, um, knocking up women and having lots of kids. But Rito asks, have you considered going to a DSA Hollywood chapter meeting? Tim Heidecker's on fundraising with them. Yes, I know he has, and I probably donated at some point. I know I've donated to candidates he's endorsed, and happily, one candidate he endorsed, Hugo Soto Martinez, is now my city council district member. He's a union leader, and not lead, but like he helped build unions. His parents were streetcar vendors. He wants to expand that. He wants to make transit much more abundant here, protect tenants' rights, all that stuff. I'm not saying anyone's perfect, got to see how he goes about it, but I'm very glad like he won and knocked out that bum, Mitch O'Farrell, that landlord stooge, anti-homeless dirtbag, milk toast. Well, we can't have bike lanes, too quickly. It's only been 9 years and into my tenure, and bike lanes would be nice, but the problem is we got to get everyone to agree to them. So you can all go fuck yourselves with your bike lanes. Take care. Gonna get my realtor and landlord donations from all over the country now. And Ugo won with people power, but again, I'm not a guy like who's just like, oh, he's a great person. I don't care who he is, in a way. Good for us if he supports those policies. So we'll see, how he actually governs. But the city council has a lot of power as opposed to the mayor. But as for supporting the DSA, I've been to like DSA meetings or one or two before when I was in DC. I can't be part of groups. Like, it makes me uncomfortable. I'm like, I'll throw support my own way and stuff. It's just not for me. And, DSA, they have their own problems too, I'm sure. And I'm sure it's like great to get support out for stuff, but there's lots of other ways to support things directly. And I'm happy for the DSA to be there and to give voice to these issues. And I'm not here, getting to, oh, did they do this right or whatever? Because I don't know. But it just, I don't like being part of a group. I've been to group meetings like that before. I'm like, it's just not for me. Like, I just feel like I don't fit in there. It's not for me. Like, I like doing my own way, like inspiring people on here and getting people thinking about this stuff and motivated and supporting good candidates and stuff. Amazon is terrible. Moist Andy knows, he works for them. Have I watched Matawan? Good union organizing movie based on real historical events by John Sayles? No, I haven't, but that's a great recommendation, Rito. I appreciate it. I'm going to try and watch that. And take my supplements before I go to my job. That was weird how I said that. I'm going to take my supplements before I go to my job. Let me try that again. I'm going to take my supplements before I go to my job. Take two. Still taking my supplements after I got COVID. Trying not to get COVID again. Keep my health up. Yeah, thank goodness the physical came back, clean bill of health. All they said was I was deficient in vitamin D, very common. So I have lots of vitamin D soft gels, taking more, getting some more sun. And you can have sun. My understanding is you don't need to expose your bare skin to the sun to get the benefits. It's the infrared light, supposedly, that is beneficial. So you can have your clothes on, have a hat on, have sunscreen, and you still get the benefits of it. So I always, not on my breaks at work when I'll walk outside, but when I'm like riding my bike home, I always put on sunscreen on my face and neck. We got a donation coming in. Mark Ivy with 99 cents in euros, $1.08 in English. Rocking it. Rocking the cause of tenants' rights and rent strikes and general strikes and good organizing, union organizing. That's right. Take my pills, take my amino acids. Actually, I'm not taking amino acids here. Strengthening my connective tissues with my exercise. If I really had the ambition and stuff and time, I would make a proper documentary about why some of these causes are important. You know, rent strikes, general strikes, tenants' rights, mass transit. It's very time consuming to make videos. A simple video to edit can take like 4 hours. A real, like produced video can take easily over 80 hours, 100 hours. And it's simply time that I must invest in my screenwriting. So much so that I have nightmares about my writing, which is good. It's like I'm trying to figure out how to write my story in my dreams. I'm like, I know my brain is working on it right now. It's on the case while I'm asleep. 6. Take 8,000 IUs of vitamin D today. Not a recommendation for everyone. Talk to your doctor. What my understanding is, unless you take 100,000 a day for like months, you're in no risk of overdosing on vitamin D. And supposedly you don't absorb a lot of the vitamin D anyway. So my doctor recommended 5,000 IUs a day, international units. Let's take 8 just to be safe. Who do I sound like now? I sound like some 80s movie character. Go over to the video store on Jefferson Street and look up copies of The Howling. But think, people, how to do this in your own life, how to do things, whether you make videos. Who cares the quality? Put it in vertical mode. Who cares? Let people know you exist, that you want mass transit, so you can step out and you don't have to hear like streets infested with cars and traffic pollution, bad for our organs, our lungs, our children, my children. And they kill people, tens of thousands of people a year in America. They put us in so much debt. They're scams. So much of the cities we live in are just reserved for cars. And get people oriented streets, people scaled streets, get mass transit so you have the pleasure of getting in a communal experience. I hate the communal experience, that sounds weird, but communal baths. But you have the pleasure of seeing people out, being sociable. I made a new friend, just temporary friend, for 15 minutes on the metro the other day. He asked me, hey, is this going to get to Union Station before 7:30? I said, yeah, you'll be fine. You get there. And we started talking where he's from. He worked in San Francisco. You know, I'm from Virginia, and what's it like there? How do I like it here? All that. But anyways, stuff like that. It's like you don't get that when you're isolated in this capsule of a car. And mass transit so much, we need it, first of all, for the environment. Our planet will be inhospitable for human life for the most part, unless you're very wealthy within a few decades. Rito said, I volunteered for Ugo one day when I was in LA, persuaded 2 people to vote for him. Every bit counts, however you push. That's right, Rito. That's right. Rito's out there. What do you call it? Pedal to the pavement. Whatever. I'm gonna floss, so I'll just turn the camera around. So that's another thing. Have good health, everybody. Here, I'll show you my incredible art I have on the wall while I floss. But yes, yeah, speak up, enlighten people, even little things for your health. And we need good communists and good socialists, or whatever. I don't call myself anything because I don't really believe like any system really work in a way as far as, oh, just use a system. There are problems with unions, there's problems with everything, you know. When you put people in the mix, there are problems. But I think if we interrogate ourselves and scrutinize ourselves, we can do so much better. And I'm still learning, you know, we all can learn, we all can grow. But get people aware, just activate it, talk to them. Rito, you just motivated me saying that. I'm like, that's awesome. I didn't know I knew anybody who volunteered for Ugo. That's not the kind of work I like doing. I don't want to, you know, I don't like telling people what to do, but I like motivating people and building a community here where people are like, yeah, this does make sense. Maybe give $1 to some group, some cause, whatever. Help your neighbor or something. Speak up. Send a message to your city council. Even if you can't attend a meeting, send a message saying we need more public transit. We need more metro. We need bike lanes. We need bus lanes. We need better food distribution, nutrition education. We need widely accessible, quality, free healthcare for everyone, if this COVID pandemic hasn't shown us that 1,000 times over. How do you get around a city that's car-oriented if you have mobility issues and the transit isn't available to be able to get you around if you can't drive? Think about it, like my mom. She can't drive. She has to walk everywhere, get rides, and the metro is, yeah, fairly close. The buses don't run at the routes she needs, so she has to walk or get rides everywhere. How great would it be to simply have a system where she could just get on the bus, go where she needs, get on the metro? It's safe, it's clean, the metro runs frequently, the buses run frequently. This is the only time I can make videos basically because I'm so busy with writing, my job, working out. People should not have to be this busy. We should get 4-day work weeks. That's another one. Which I may just try doing soon because I remember when I worked at Enterprise Rent-A-Car, I was starting to do videography. It was too much on my schedule. So I just told my boss, like, I'll be in like 3 days a week or something. That's it. Like, whatever they say, because I knew they needed me anyways. Not that I was trying to leverage that or anything. I just realized I had to work less to do my videography, which is what I wanted to do. I know at a certain point I'm gonna have to do that. The good thing is I have lots of vacation time, so I can take like vacation days, maybe like one a week for like 3 months. Because yeah, I could afford a modest vacation. It's gonna drain my savings so quickly. How's that a vacation? What's the point? I need to have an emergency fund that's very, very padded. Everybody needs one. When I say everybody, I mean everybody, everybody. Some people just say everybody. I say everybody, everybody. People should be able to pursue the things they love, the art they love, the loves they love, the people in their lives. Let's see. Right on. Right on, Rito. All right, I gotta change. Not to get too lurid, but yeah, let's see. I still gotta lose a few pounds. I am pretty lean. You can see the sinews and stuff. I want to lose a few more, and I've been so bad about it. I am only like 142 pounds as of today, but want to do that and then really build some muscle. And it's not about the muscle; it's really strength. So that's like what Michael Hearn says is the connected tissues. I just want to be fit, healthy, have longevity. I don't want to be, frail and weak into old age. I don't need to be super strong, but I want to have flexibility, range of motion, all that stuff. I gotta take a leak. And it's freaking cold out for LA. It's like 44 degrees, so I gotta put on layers and layers. This sweater is such garbage. I've had this over 10 years. I don't know. It's just not a good sweater. It's not that thick. It's very baggy on me, especially now that I've lost all this weight. But here's the thing, realizing, the importances of finance and stuff. I'm not going to get another one unless it's at a thrift store. Dirt cheap. All right, what am I going to do first? I'll put on my shoes. I've learned to not go to the bathroom like just in case. Like don't go like just in case you have to go later because that weakens my bladder, and I'm still working on my bladder control because I pissed my pants a couple times. So I've been doing pelvic floor muscle exercises, and those help. And I've been adding just a quarter tablespoon of salt to my breakfast and my lunch each day. So I realize I go through a lot of water, so a little more sodium and electrolytes, and just experimenting and see, and that helps. And so I sleep better because I don't get up as many times to urinate a night. I still get up, but not as many times. And the weird thing about sleeping better, it's like my body's recovering better from workouts and stuff, which is good, and my mind recovers from stress. But I have really, really intense dreams. Man, really intense nightmares. I dreamed last night I impulse bought a huge Nissan SUV, and I immediately was horrified at my decision and regretted it. And I was like, where am I gonna park this? Why did I buy it? It's already like I can't turn it back to the dealer. It's gonna be horrible. I was so glad to wake up. That was one of the scariest dreams ever. All right, everyone, I gotta go. I gotta ride my bicicleta to work. Thanks for watching, comrade. I didn't mean to throw that hard. Thanks for watching, comrades. Solidarity and strength to all the workers and the oppressed and the impoverished and the sick. And may everybody be well. May you all be well. And talk to people. Link up about these things. All right, everyone. Got to use the toilet. Bye.